People often say that time heals all wounds, but later we realize that time doesn't really heal. It simply teaches us how to live with the pain. Some pain never fades. Some memories never blur. Some regrets are never replaced. They stay hidden in the cracks of our lives, turning into invisible scars. Yet when we look back, we find that those wounds didn't destroy us. Instead, they made us grow. They helped us see ourselves more clearly. They made us softer and stronger. So we finally understand true strength isn't about having no scars. It's about carrying them and still moving forward. We're taught to be strong, brave, and unstoppable. But strength is often misunderstood. People think it means not crying, not hurting, not fearing, not retreating. So many wear masks, hiding their pain and pretending nothing ever happened. They smile brightly, but break in silence. They look unshakable, yet lie awake at night, torn by old wounds. Real strength is the opposite. It's not pretending you're fine. It's admitting that you're not. It's not denying weakness. It's finding power within it. Being strong doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. It means learning to live with them. It's not ignoring your pain. It's letting it become part of your growth. Scars mean something once broke. They remind us that we were hurt, that we cried, fell, and almost gave up. But because of those scars, we now understand what happiness really means, how fragile life can be, and how warm the human heart truly is. A person with no scars may live lightly, but not deeply. A person with scars has walked through darkness and seen the light. Their understanding of pain gives them compassion, the beginning of empathy, the root of strength. To move forward means direction. To do so resolutely means determination. Many stop halfway because the past is too heavy, the memories too deep, the pain too long. But those who truly move on don't do it because they no longer hurt. They do it because they know that staying still only makes the wound fester. Only by walking forward can life begin to heal. Resolutely may sound light, but it carries the weight of courage, the quiet courage to love, to trust, to keep walking, even knowing you might be hurt again. That kind of strength doesn't shout, but it moves hearts. So when we read the sentence, true strength is moving forward with scars, it's no longer just a motivational slogan. It's a philosophy of life. It reminds us that kindness doesn't protect us from pain, and effort doesn't guarantee reward. Maturity means accepting life's imperfections. Courage means loving life despite them. Strength isn't standing tall on the mountaintop. It's hidden in the quiet persistence of ordinary people. Someone who's lost a loved one but still treats others gently. Someone crushed by life but still finds reasons to smile. Someone heartbroken yet able to love again. Someone betrayed but still believes in trust. They may not shine, but their strength runs deeper than any victory. True strength isn't being untouchable, it's being covered in scars, yet still kind. It's not saying I'm not afraid, but saying I'm scared and I'll face it anyway. It's a kind of wholeness after being broken, a calm after the storm. Strong people aren't those who never fall. They're the ones who stand up every time they do. They learn to walk through the rain, to heal in solitude. They understand that the value of life isn't about how many times you win, but how you refuse to be defeated. Scars are life's handwriting on our skin. No one likes pain, but a life without pain has no depth. Scars are proof that we've collided with the world, that we've been here, that we were once fragile. Behind every scar hides a chance to grow. Loss teaches us to cherish. Misunderstanding teaches us tolerance. Loneliness teaches us how to be with ourselves. Failure teaches us the meaning of effort. When we stop running from our scars and instead understand, accept, and even thank them, we stop being victims. We become survivors. You are no longer just someone who was hurt, but someone who was reborn through pain. Your scars no longer represent suffering. They represent rebirth. Moving forward is the gentlest way to say goodbye to the past. The greatest courage in life isn't forgiving others, it's choosing to keep going. The ability to walk out of sorrow isn't about forgetting, but about learning to live with memories. Some things won't fade with time, but you can carry them to new places. Moving forward doesn't mean letting go of the past. It means living more clearly with its wisdom. It keeps life flowing and prevents your heart from being trapped in yesterday. It's a way of truly being alive, to keep fixing what's broken, to keep standing after every fall. Sometimes people ask, how long do I have to walk before it stops hurting? The answer is, maybe it never fully will. But the moment you can smile through pain and keep walking with your regrets, that's when you've truly become strong. Real strength isn't a sudden burst, it's a lasting calm. It's the quiet conviction that says, life won't be easy, but I'll keep living it sincerely. Moving forward with scars isn't surrender, it's mature courage. Because you finally understand that pain isn't the end of life, it's part of what makes you whole. Strength isn't about being unbroken, it's about moving forward with your wounds. People often misunderstand what strength really means. To many, a strong person is someone who never cries, never panics, never falls. They are as steady as a mountain, as hard as iron, as untouchable as light. But anyone who has truly lived knows that kind of strength only exists in imagination. Real strength looks different. It carries imperfections, cracks, and the marks of being worn down by life. It doesn't shine loudly, but it makes people feel at peace. It doesn't explode in noise, it gathers quietly in silence. Strong people hurt too. Have you ever seen someone who seems strong cry alone in the middle of the night? That kind of silent sobbing isn't weakness, it's the moment they finally allow themselves to drop the mask. They smile all day, facing everyone with grace, but at night, they can barely breathe under the weight of memory. And yet the next morning they get up again, to work, to live, to smile. That is what it means to move forward with your wounds. The pain hasn't disappeared. It's just been placed carefully in the heart. The breakdown hasn't gone away. It has simply turned into quiet strength. They understand that life won't wait for you to heal, and the world won't stop because you're sad. So they learn to live with the pain, to keep walking even while it hurts. That's not numbness, it's wisdom. It's the deep understanding of life. I can't change the wind, but I can adjust my sails. Moving forward with wounds is the truest form of courage. Many people think courage means having no fear. But real courage is knowing you'll hurt, knowing you might fail, knowing you could be broken again, and still choosing to try, to love, to believe. It's the spirit of walking into the mountain even when you know there are tigers. It's saying, I might be hurt again, but I still want to live honestly. This kind of courage doesn't shout or show off. It lives quietly inside. I'll try again anyway. Courage isn't a flash of passion, it's a daily decision. It's taking a step when the wound still aches, holding on to hope when fear whispers give up, and loving life even in loneliness. This wounded courage transforms fragile people into strong souls. It may not make you win everything, but it makes you real. Wounds are not shame, they are proof. We fear showing our pain, so we hide, smile, and run away. But the moment you face your scars honestly, you've already won. Because at that moment, you're no longer controlled by the pain. You've become its master. Scars stop being marks of shame. They become signs of growth. They remind you you were hurt, but you're still here. You fell, but you didn't stay down. You cried, but you still chose kindness. There's a saying, maturity isn't about never crying. It's about being able to smile while your eyes are full of tears. That's what it means to walk with your wounds. It's not that you don't feel pain. It's that you've learned not to let pain control your life. You understand that real strength isn't about never being hit. It's about standing up every time you are. Walking with wounds is the most human state of all. Everyone lives with invisible scars, some from family, some from love, some from the unfairness of life itself. Life's cruelty doesn't choose its targets. It hits when you least expect it, throws you into darkness, makes you question meaning. And still we keep walking. We go to work, eat meals, talk, laugh, love. We quietly mend the unseen cracks in ordinary days. That's the greatest human quality. Even when broken, we keep living. Even when in pain, we keep loving. We're not superheroes, we're just people. But because we are ordinary, our strength is real. It's not the absence of weakness, but the will to keep going within it. It's not the lack of breakdown, but the ability to gather your shattered pieces again. It's not being fearless, but reaching out for life even while trembling. Pain is carving out another version of you. Every pain refines you. It forces you to see yourself again, to ask, who am I? How do I want to live? Pain transforms you. It makes you softer, more compassionate, more understanding toward yourself. It makes you stronger, more grounded, and more alive. You start to realize that the things that once nearly destroyed you later became your greatest teachers. They taught you that true power isn't avoiding pain, but finding wisdom within it. You learn to treat yourself gently and to comfort others with sincerity. Your world becomes deeper, more layered, more alive. That's the meaning of pain. It doesn't come to destroy you, but to shape you. Every scar is telling you, you're becoming more whole. Those who carry wounds understand love and empathy better. Only those who felt pain know how to be tender with others. You begin to see that behind every smile may hide a silent ache. Behind every quiet soul, a private battle. So you stop judging, stop hurting others easily. You start listening, understanding, embracing. As you keep living with your wounds, your heart grows wider. You stop chasing a perfect life because you know perfection is an illusion. You only wish that even when life isn't perfect, you can still live it truthfully. This gentle kind of strength is deeper than any armor. Strong souls are born through breaking. True strength is never innate. It's built from collapse and rebuilt piece by piece. It's the clarity that comes after dying inside once, the peace that comes after pain. What you lose will return in another form, maybe deeper understanding, a purer heart, or a stronger faith in life. The moments you thought would destroy you were secretly shaping the strongest version of you. Like broken pottery mended with gold, your cracks will shine brightest. Your wounds, too, will become the most beautiful light in your soul. Moving forward with your wounds is the deepest kind of courage. It needs no applause, no validation. It's a quiet power of self-redemption. You know the pain won't vanish overnight, but you choose to live anyway. That's strength. Not the victory that stands above all, but the steady persistence that keeps walking. Not the flawless confidence of perfection, but the calm belief that says, I know life isn't perfect, but I still choose to believe in it. Scars are the marks of growth sometimes. We hate our scars. They remind us of the stories we no longer wish to revisit, the helplessness, the pain, the vulnerability. So we try to hide them, ignore them, or even pretend they never existed. But as time goes on, you begin to realize that the scars you despise are actually the most honest parts of your life, because they never lie. They tell you that you've fallen, loved, lost, and fought. And it's those very experiences that shaped who you are today. Scars are the evidence of what you've been through, the proof of how you've grown. True maturity isn't measured by how many successes you've had, but by how you live with your scars. When a child falls, they cry because it hurts. When an adult falls, they don't, because they understand that pain doesn't mean failure. It's simply part of being alive. Every wound reminds you that you're still growing. Like the rings of a tree, each one records the frost and sunlight of the years. Your scars record the traces of your battles with fate. They remind you that you've been blown by the wind, drenched by the rain, and polished by life. And yet, you're still breathing, still smiling, still moving forward. That's a quiet kind of honor, a resilience only you can understand. A life without scars is a shallow one. People dream of a life without pain, but such a life lacks depth. Only after you've truly suffered can you understand the value of happiness, the beauty of the ordinary, and the tenderness of peace. A life without cracks may appear smooth, but it can't let the light in. Only through brokenness does light find its way. Those who've never known darkness can't understand the meaning of dawn. Those who've never fallen can't know how much courage it takes to stand again. Those who've never been betrayed can't grasp how precious trust really is. The depth of a person often comes from how they walk through their pain. The things you thought would destroy you are actually the things that made you softer and stronger. Scars teach us to accept, not to forget. At some point in life, you must learn a word called acceptance. Accept the past you can't change, the people you've lost, the fact that life isn't always fair. Acceptance isn't surrender, it's a deeper kind of understanding. You stop fighting against pain and learn to give it a place in your life. One day, you'll stop running from your scars. You'll touch them, and though they still ache, they won't hurt the same. It's a gentle kind of pain, as if time is softly telling you, yes, it once hurt, but it's also what made you who you are. Scars don't exist to trap you in the past. They exist to remind you how far you've come. You don't need to erase them. You just need to learn how to live with them. Every scar has its meaning. Some are marks of courage. Some are the price of growth. Some are proof that you once loved deeply. And some mark the beginning of finding yourself again. The people you've lost, the chances you've missed, the efforts that failed, the nights you broke down, they were never in vain. They taught you what it means to let go, to hold on, to forgive, and to be strong. At the time, the pain may have felt unbearable, but years later, when you look back, you'll realize, without that pain, you wouldn't be who you are. You wouldn't have learned to see clearly or to cherish deeply. That pain was, in fact, the beginning of your rebirth. Time doesn't heal, it settles. People often say time heals all wounds, but in truth, time heals no one. It simply teaches you how to live with the pain. It makes the wound less raw, more quiet. The pain is still there, you've just stopped fearing it. You can now speak calmly about what once shattered you. Not because you forgot, but because you grew. Growth doesn't mean you stop hurting. It means you've learned to live despite the hurt. You stop running and start embracing. You stop waiting for someone else to heal you and start finding your own ways to recover. You come to understand that life doesn't wait for you to be ready. It makes you hurt and grow at the same time. Scars teach you the gentleness of life. Those who've known pain become softer because they know how much harm words can do, how easily indifference can crush a soul. They understand that every smiling face hides a story untold. So they learn compassion. They become less harsh with the world, more patient with others. They realize that kindness isn't weakness. It's the clarity that comes after pain. The things that once made you cry become the colors of your gentleness. You no longer need to protect yourself with walls. You start to embrace the world with understanding and grace. You begin to see that true strength is a heart that stays soft. Learn to thank your scars. When you can sincerely say, "Thank you for the things that once hurt me," it means you've truly grown. You understand that without the falls, you wouldn't be steady. Without the losses, you wouldn't appreciate what remains. Without the lonely nights, you wouldn't know how to talk to yourself. Scars broke you, but they also made you whole. Be grateful to those who made you cry. They taught you not to be easily hurt again. Be grateful for the heartbreak. It showed you what truly matters. Be grateful for the dark times. They made you understand how precious the light is. You once thought the pain would destroy you, but in the end, it transformed you. Scars make you deeper. Every scar adds another layer to your life. It makes you less shallow, less judgmental, less desperate to chase illusions. It teaches you stillness, patience, and how to listen. You realize that true happiness isn't the absence of pain, but the ability to smile through it. You begin to understand life's complexity, to accept the gray areas of humanity. You see that what seemed like breaking was actually guidance toward growth. Your world is no longer black and white. You learn to walk in uncertainty, to find balance in contradiction. You become gentler, yet stronger. That's the gift of your scars, a deeper insight, a quiet strength, a peaceful heart. Scars are the marks of growth. They remind you that your life was never smooth, but filled with pain, tears, and courage, and that you kept going anyway. They teach you that the meaning of life isn't to avoid pain, but to find light within it. Your scars are not your shame. They are your glory, because they are what made you someone who feels deeply, cherishes deeply, and loves deeply. And when you can carry those marks and keep walking, you'll discover that true freedom isn't forgetting the past, it's making peace with it. Moving forward, the answer to life, the hardest thing in life isn't enduring pain, it's choosing to keep walking after the pain. We've all had moments when we wanted to stop, to hide from the world, to forget everything. But life doesn't grow gentle just because we withdraw. It keeps pushing us forward, carrying our losses, our regrets, and the memories that have turned into ghosts of the past. Some people sink into despair, but others choose to move forward with quiet determination. That choice, that moment of resolve, may look simple, but it's one of the most powerful acts of being human. It's the courage to take one more step when all the answers are blurred. It's the faith to keep hoping even after life has crushed you over and over again. True strength isn't about being unscarred. It's about moving forward despite the scars. And true moving forward isn't about forgetting. It's about carrying everything with you and still choosing to walk on. Moving forward isn't escape, it's belief. Sometimes we mistake moving on for leaving the past behind. But the meaning of moving forward isn't to forget, it's to understand. You walk out of a relationship not because you stopped caring, but because you realize that some love can only live in your heart. You leave a place not because you don't miss it, but because staying won't change the outcome. You keep living, not because you've stopped hurting, but because you've learned to find direction in your pain. Moving forward doesn't erase the memories, it softens them. The moments that once made you cry slowly turn into memories you're grateful for. You finally understand that some paths must be walked alone, and some growth can only come from within. When you stop asking why me and start saying it is what it is and I'll keep going, that's the moment your soul truly matures. Moving forward is the direction of life. Whether you want to or not, time will carry you onward. The sun will rise every day, and the earth won't stop spinning for anyone's sorrow. Life, by nature, flows. To stay still is to lose life's very essence. Moving forward doesn't mean you'll be happy right away. Sometimes, it just means you can still breathe through the pain. But that act of continuing puts a small, sacred distance between you and despair, a distance called hope. The meaning of life was never about not falling. It's about having a direction even after you fall. You don't have to move fast or gracefully. You just have to not stop. Some people need all their strength just to take one step. Some wander for miles and still feel stuck. But that's okay. Moving forward isn't a race, it's an attitude. As long as you're still walking, you're already brave. Determination is a quiet kind of strength. It's not fiery passion or blind stubbornness. It's calm courage, the kind that steps forward knowing the road will be hard. You've known pain, so you understand how fragile happiness is. You've tasted disappointment, so you know how heavy hope can be. You're no longer impulsive or extreme, but your heart has never been steadier. This kind of strength doesn't shout or shine. It glows like fire in winter, warm and enduring, like the light before dawn, faint but unyielding. It whispers to you, you don't need everyone's approval, and you don't need everything to go right. Just keep taking one step at a time. That's when you stop living for applause and start walking for peace. Moving forward is a gentle kind of faith. Faith doesn't always mean religion or belief. It can simply mean that after countless dark nights, you still choose to believe that tomorrow might be better. That willingness to believe is humanity's softest form of defiance. It pulls you back from the edge of despair. It rebuilds your life from the ruins of pain. You may not know what lies ahead, but you choose to walk anyway. That's what it means to move forward with resolve. Life rarely gives us clear answers. We all stumble through uncertainty, move through loss, and grow through confusion. But those who keep walking always find light, not outside, but within. The light that never goes out is the one inside you. Believe this, all pain will one day shine. No suffering is ever wasted. Every breakdown, every disappointment, every tear is quietly shaping a more genuine version of you. You think you're just enduring, but really, you're being forged. The moments that once left you breathless with pain are making you steadier, more compassionate, and softer. One day, after the long night ends, you'll look back and realize those scars have already turned into light. They illuminate your past and warm your future. Life doesn't lose its brightness because of scars. It becomes more vivid and real because of them. They teach you not to fear falling, because even from the deepest valley, you have the strength to rise. To walk with your wounds is a quiet kind of beauty. It's not pitiful, it's profound. You no longer need others' praise to prove your worth. You've earned your strength in your battles with fate. You know life is uncertain, but you still choose love. You know people are complicated, but you still choose kindness. You know the future is unknown, but you still choose to believe. That beauty born of pain isn't about perfection. It's the grace of someone who has seen the storm and still looks at the world with gentleness. You stop chasing outcomes. You just want to walk sincerely, live fully, love deeply. True strength is quiet. People often think strength means power or dominance, but real strength is peace. It's smiling after the storm and saying, it's okay. It's losing much, yet still meeting the world with kindness. It's having scars, yet no longer needing to hide them. The truly strong don't seek to conquer. They simply live honestly and move gently forward. They know that the meaning of life isn't to win, but to live truthfully. True strength is serenity. It's seeing through pain and still choosing to embrace life with warmth. It's knowing that everything will pass and still treasuring the moment right now. Keep walking. Even with your scars, life's path doesn't get smoother just because you've been hurt. It will still have bumps, misunderstandings, and failures. But once you learn to walk with your wounds, you've already found the strength that can't be broken. Those moments you thought you'd never survive, somehow, quietly, you walked past them. You faced fate with courage and mended yourself with love. You may not have conquered the world, but you have conquered the part of yourself that once wanted to give up. And that, right there, is life's greatest victory. So when you look back, when your fingers touch those old, healed scars, say to yourself, thank you for still walking. True strength isn't about never falling. It's about getting back up, carrying your scars, and moving forward anyway. Being strong doesn't mean being unbreakable. It means staying gentle after being shattered. A scar isn't a mark of shame. It's the proof of growth. To move forward with resolve doesn't mean running from the past. It means learning to live with it. The answer to life was never somewhere else. It's in every step you still choose to take. It's in every morning after the tears have dried, in every heartbeat that still chooses to believe. When you can see light through the cracks and keep walking through the pain, you've already found your own kind of strength. So keep walking even with your scars, because that right there is what it means to be alive.